Can you hear me, Mike check? Can you hear me? Is that my mic or your mic not working? No, my mic's working. Is your mic?
Okay.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah,
How you doing, Miss Terry?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing, given the circumstances, I guess I really can't complain. Still alive right now. You want to give a brief introduction on who you are and where you come from, your walks in life, and how did you become aware of this program, and how did you know that you were actually in this program?
Um, well, my name is Terry Travis. I live in Lebanon, Missouri. I was dating a guy who had an addiction problem, and it started off as him playing games with me. I was hearing sex noises throughout my home, like he had a device, and he was breaking into my house, and then I heard a siren, and then they asked me. I just started to hear. That's when I started hearing the voices, and they asked me if I wanted this job, and they told me I was going to travel the world and all this like crazy stuff. Some of it was familiar voices, some of it wasn't. And once I caught on to the familiar voices, they stopped using the familiar voices,
Now, could you tell me by what
and
do you
now I
mean?
hear they talk about.
Could you tell me what you mean?
I'm sorry.
Just could you tell me what you mean by hearing the voices so that people who is not aware of this program get a better understanding on what you mean by that? Because this whole program is
Um,
designed to make us look mentally ill, paranoid, schizophrenic, or with multiple personality disorder, and so on and so
yes,
forth.
yeah, because I was. Yes, you're absolutely right. Because as the 5 years that I've been dealing with it has gone on, I mean, I've had people that I don't know my business say, s- um, like an older gentleman. I'm at work, and he tells me about a conversation I had over the phone with someone else, and he'll say those exact words. But
Hmm.
the voices for me are, it's hard to explain because it's like really negative. It's very they basically put things into my head to make me believe.
Go ahead. Was talking to my stepson. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I understand. Um, Basically, for what my experiment spirit can't even- well is that they basically put things into my head to make me fear.
And that's
It's
that.
kind of a scare tactics.
And that technology you're talking about is the
Scare
V.
tactics.
And the technology you're talking about is the V2K, the voice of God, the microwave audio effect.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Yes.
So so
And
so
it's louder. It's louder.
now with this
Go ahead.
technology, I just want to clarify this to the audience and to the people who would be seeing this for the first time and hearing that terminology. Now, what she mean and what we mean by V2K, V2K is a form of synthetic telepathy, and it's a military technology which actually being voices in your head to make it appear though you have paranoid schizophrenic when actually the voices are real and it comes from a form of technology called the microwave auditory effect. V2K, V2K, voice of God, go look it up. Now go and carry on.
Sorry, I was getting a call. It cut out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Now go ahead and finish with what you were saying. I just wanted to catch the people up
Oh,
on
okay.
what was voice to God.
Uh, well, I actually moved away from Lebanon, Missouri, and moved to Texas, Killeen. They've never said anything that has remotely like from my past, or they also, and this is the one thing that made me realize I wasn't schizophrenic, is they brought up a word woman I've never met. And in our self-conscious mind, I would not be thinking or hearing a woman I've never met. Or, so that's when I figured out that this is something. Well, the siren was really, I come from a military background. So right away, I knew that once I heard that siren and then the voices came upon, I knew something was wrong. I knew that wasn't my brain.
Hmm. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I know it's rude to ask a lady her age, but this question is for scientific purpose.
I'm 43.
And you said this all started for you 5 years ago.
5 years ago. But I
What you
did
at?
work for the VFW Post here in town for 5 years.
Okay, okay. The Post. That's the news. That's a news outlet. I take it. Newspaper outlet.
No. The VFW Post. So
What's
the
that?
bar, I was a bartender in the VFW.
Okay, okay. Now, which bring me back to my original question. The reason I asked your age because I want the listeners to fully understand that she's 43 at the time right now, and this took
Yeah,
place and started at the age of 39. So you guys can go and look this up. Paranoid schizophrenia and voices in the head above the age of 18 is so rare. It's so rare. You have a better chance. You could go and look this up. Scientific facts. It's so rare that you probably could hit the mega million 3 times in a week on how rare this phenomenon is. So I just wanted to let y'all know that scientific facts. You can go and look it up. Now you could go on.
that I was actually, I've had two doctors, one say that I'm too old to be schizophrenic, and another to say that I am actually schizophrenic.
That's because the one who said that,
So,
the one who's saying that is working for the cause. The one who said the first thing to you, you're too old, that I didn't know you was gonna say that. And you could see what I said right before that. It's damn near impossible for someone to turn 39 and become paranoid schizophrenic. It's impossible for that to happen. So
uh,
that's what I want people to know. Go
and
look it up.
mind no one in my family has
Suffers from it.
schizophrenia.
Mm, mm,
No one.
Now, when did you know that your
So,
targeting? When did you know that your targeting went from covert to overt?
I figured it out really early on because, like I said, I come from a military background. So when I heard that siren, that was the first thing I did. I didn't know what targeted individual was. I actually Googled a military device that would make you hear voices,
Mm,
and uh, that's what I Googled, and
mm,
I came up with the targeted individual stuff. And the more I read, and the more things that have gone on, uh, it's definitely been, because they can use this sometimes. I mean, it'll sound like they're right outside my window. Have you
yes.
had that?
No, I don't get the voice to
Where it
skull.
seems so close?
I don't get the voice to skull. I get a lot of the direct energy weapons. I get the break in, the illegal entries to the vehicle. I get the bright ends, the one headlight. I get the tempered water. I get the direct energy weapons, the burning of the skin. I get the involuntary muscle movements all over my body, even in the greater spots that I'm too ashamed to even speak on. But like they control my eye 1 minute, it's jumping out of control. Once I start recording that, it'll move to my back muscle, to my rib cage, to my calf muscle, so on and so forth. It's a horrible program, and I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
because see, that's what I've been very lucky in that aspect. I've had the burns. I've had burns like I'd find a little round red mark. It looks almost like a little hickey on my arm, or you know,
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, mine is just basically mind fucking. Like I'm mind fucked 24 hours a day.
with the V2K. You know, you
And
could
there's
actually pick.
and you can't get no help that
So, have you had any surgeries? Like any major
uh
surgeries?
set, when I was 25.
And where was that
But
located?
see, when I
Was it neck
it
and
was,
the?
yeah, my yes, thyroid.
You see what I'm saying? Because I understand that a lot of this technology is based on implants, which they don't have to use implants. But what I'm aware of, and what I've been asking the other targeted individuals who suffer from the V2K about their surgeries, and they always have surgeries from the neck up, whether it's done on their neck and their wisdom tooth, fillings put in the neck near the lymph nodes behind the ear. It's always in most cases a surgery that took place. That's why I had to ask you that.
Well, yes, but I also, when I was broken into, at the time I was drinking a lot, and I was broken into. I actually got audio, and but I lived alone. My daughter, she's 24. She had just graduated and moved out of the house, and I lived alone. And I went to work, and my boss was like, I had pink like marker or pin on my neck, but I lived alone. So I think I was chipped then, because she said
Okay.
somebody wrote on your neck. I had my hair up. I worked in food service, and I had my hair up, and I had like some marks on my neck.
Well, you know they do
So
drug
I don't
us.
believe it happened with the surgery, huh?
Yeah, a lot of us be suffering through drugging. It's like they spray gas and chemicals in the house. Like if we live in an apartment complex, how they get your landlord to engage in it, or they'll simply break in your house and put certain dusts and chemicals in your AC unit. They might dip your air filter in formaldehyde. A lot of things that I learned that they like to use is formaldehyde and arsenic poison as well in your water contamination, the contaminate your water supply. So I definitely believe you. It could have been a drug situation, or like you said, being that you was drinking or whatever or whatnot. Drinking do cause you to sleep heavily. So, but go on. I'm
Yes.
sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, because I knew that someone was breaking into my house, but I couldn't prove it. And and then the police just made it out to be like it was a joke, you know.
Hmm.
And they even put it in the newspaper and everything. I mean, I had an
Wow.
audio of two people in my home while I was asleep, and I have a newspaper clipping.
Wow. Wow.
And
Well,
I've been trying to get like
go ahead.
it's been. Have you caught anybody in your house?
No, but I came home to signs that somebody been in my house. Say for instance, like when we leave the house and we enter the house, we leave our shoes by the front door. Like it's a fab. Like we don't do without it. So when we come back in the house, our play shoes or work shoes, we take them off and swap them out for our bed shoes. It was times I come in the house and one bed shoe from each pair will be moved around the house randomly, and everybody at the door just have one shoe right there. So we trying to figure out like what the fuck. So it was kind of like
What?
driving me crazy for it was getting to me to be honest. Like man, I know I'm
Well,
not tripping.
I was hearing. I well in the beginning, I was the the perpetrators burnt down. I was given a trailer home. All I
Hmm.
had to do was pay to move it. And the day I went to go sign for the papers, somebody burnt all the trailers in that area.
Mm.
So right before, so there was a lot of crimes that were committed that they've gotten away with. I
Cause
mean, and
the
then
police,
played.
the police assuring them that they're not going to get prosecuted or locked up. That's why when we as targeted individuals call the police and report any crime, they flip it around and pull out the crazy card. Excuse me.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I got a phone call. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but as I was saying that's because the local police department who's involved on it, they assure the gang stalkers that they're not going to get persecuted. So that's why when a lot of us targeted individuals call to report a crime and what happened or what we suspected happened, they always reverse the role and try to play us off as crazy, brush us off, or like try to get us
Yeah.
institutionalized. Like I said, it's all one hand wash the other with this
Yeah. Well,
program, and it's
yeah, and I mean, I've had people I don't even know tell me about my business. I mean, basically, my privacy is gone. I don't have
we don't have
privacy.
privacy. We don't have privacy. We don't have legal rights. We don't
No, they
have
know when I have
civil rights.
sex. They tell me when I no, we have nothing in, and I mean, they let me know. They try to ridicule me with the things that I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything I do, they try to turn it around and put it in my head that I'm not living life right because I did this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know
So
exactly what
like
you mean.
anything I do, I feel like relationships. How are you? Can you have relationships? I can't.
It's
Like
very
getting
hard.
involved with someone, they make sure. Yeah, they make sure to destroy it or put it in my head that they are destroying it
Yeah.
or you know
I try to tell people that
yeah. So yeah, it's been
this program is ultimately designed to break us mentally, physically, financially, and emotionally in that order almost. So the first steps of this program is actually to try to get us admitted to a mental hospital where we later get diagnosed as a mental illness to discredit us. That way the operation could go even more overt. The tax increase. After that, they want to see us homeless, left with nothing, left on the street, being tortured and dying slow. They traffic a lot of us, human trafficking. One quick story before we get back on y'all's. When I got my license, I specifically marked not an organ donor. I wait to get my license in the mail. I'm marked coincidentally as an organ donor. I paid $30, go back to DMV to get my license like redone and to show them that I don't want to be an organ donor, express my concerns, and I let them know what happened the first time, how I marked the box, no, I don't want to be an organ donor. I did the same thing, except this time I scratched it completely out and I wrote the words no in pen on it, and I showed him. He assured me he was going to get it correct. I got my license back in the mail a week or so later, and I still was an organ donor. So I know that trafficking and organ harvesting definitely have the. Have you tried to get a life insurance on yourself?
no.
If you go
I'm
and
gonna
try to get a life insurance on yourself, I guarantee someone in some company have a life insurance policy on you already. I notice that goes on a lot with targeted individuals, myself included. I just recently tried to get one for my
wow.
kids, and it's already a life insurance policy on me. So it's like either my mother done it or the government who's playing these games done it. Because I know for a fact that the last three deaths in our family, no one had life insurance on them, and we had to bury them out of pocket. My oldest brother just last year, my uncle this year, they both died on the same day. I lost my older brother last year, February 24th, and lost my favorite uncle this year, February 24th. They died the exact day, the year apart, the exact same way. So I know for a fact that they didn't have a life insurance policy on them. We out of pocket type of family. So we out of pockets. So when I discovered I was a target individual, I wanted to go get a life insurance policy on me. Try to get my one of my baby mothers to do it along with me. Somebody already have one out on me.
That's crazy. I'm gonna check into that.
Please check into
I'm
it
gonna
and hit
check
me
into
up and
that.
let me know what your results is. I guarantee you, someone already have a life insurance
There's
policy
probably
on you.
already got one for me. And
That's
who gets that money?
the government or either
Who
what
gets that
family
money?
member whatever family member issued it out on you or whatever person, as targeted individuals, we all have our identity stolen, this, that, and the third. We're dealing with the government.
Yeah.
CONTELPRO, FBI, NSA, local police
Oh,
department.
they track you. they track you.
I
There's
can't.
no way. I changed my email address and they, I mean, mine fucked me bad that day. They were mad.
They
They were
got into it
mad
the
at
same
me
day
for
though.
changing I changed. Oh yeah, they did. It takes
Hmm.
about 24 hours, I found out.
Yeah, that's how they is. They
Oh,
operate
I've
really
done my
fast.
homework.
Yeah, yeah. So I just bring you
Yeah,
on the
they
show.
do.
I just bring you on the show because I want you to I want to get the word out about what we're doing, what the government do to us, and what they've been doing for years. I don't understand why certain people find it so hard that we are like actual target individuals, and the government would take certain steps into do what they're doing. Like history has showed us. This program do not discriminate. It do not discriminate. It don't care what color you is, what nationality, what ethnic background group you came from. If you're 70, it don't care if you're 7. It do not care. And I don't understand how certain people find this far fetched when you could trace government corruption back since we were a democracy. Like you really can. You could Google COINTELPRO right now and it'll tell you exactly what J.F. Hoover, J. Edgar Hoover was doing, William C. Sullivan. It'll tell you everything about history. Why do people think that John F. Kennedy, the moment after he spoke about secret societies running the government, 7 days later, he was assassinated? I don't know
Yeah.
why people find it so hard to believe that the government is not capable
Well,
of
no,
things like
because
this.
what people just don't believe that technology can do that because they don't want to believe. Because when I talk about it to someone, they don't get it. They say you're crazy. You sound like you crazy. I said, yeah, well, it's going to come out, and it will. And
It's coming
there's
out.
I mean, there's more and more upcoming. Yeah, it's upcoming.
It's
And
definitely coming.
I mean, they're doing this. Yeah, it's upcoming, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
The
I'm waiting
near,
for my paycheck because I didn't ask you to be
you
my
know what? To be honest with you, it's not going to be a pay with us because there's so many targeted individuals in the worldwide. Let's just count the ones that
Yeah,
we assume or suspect in the United States. Like imagine there's no amount of money that one person could be paid for the turmoil, the torture, the slander, like everything. Imagine it would sink the nation automatically for them to try to
yeah,
settle in court for us. So it's no, I don't think that we'll ever get no reparations or anything like that. I don't believe it.
I know.
I don't believe it at all because it
Yeah,
would sink so many countries, so many nations, so many states, so many cities. It would destroy the world as we know it if this was to really come out. That's why they're fighting so hard to keep the mask on this whole program. Just imagine the army in every country, state, city, the local police department in every state, city, first responders, the military, the government, the United Nations. I got a flyover coming
yeah,
right now.
because I got to where I wouldn't go anywhere to a doctor in the town I live in because I felt like everyone was in on it.
Because they monitor everything. Your phone calls, they know everything
Yeah,
about us. They collect our trash. They know what size drawers we wear, where we like to eat, where we like to shop. They know everything. They study us. They profile us. They watch us 24/7. We can't leave our front door without having an exit and entry. So if I leave my front door right now, you're going to see a cop pulling off. You could tell me to leave whatever time you want me to leave. It could be 3 in the afternoon, 3:27 in the morning a.m. And when I exit my door, it's going to be a car leaving with me. There's going to be a car pulling up when I pull up. If I wrap my phone up and put it in airplane mode, if I wrap it up in Faraday or wrap it up in aluminum foil, you better believe a helicopter gonna be flying over me no matter where I'm at. So like I said,
yeah. See, that's
it's
how it
quite.
is for me.
Go ahead.
That's how it is for me.
Yeah, you get the
That's how
flyovers
it is
too.
for me. I see drones.
I could
I
go out.
look around for them now.
I could go outside right now and show you above my house, and you'll see the flashing of the lights, and it's just hovering in one spot every day. It's so sad that these people actually spend so much money on one person, on one targeted individual. Like
Yeah,
I believe the real saying of this program that we are empowered individuals and we are like awoken. We're unplugged from the matrix. We can't be fooled by the things that the government do. We don't believe what the masses believe. We're free thinkers in a sense, though. So that's why I believe that we
Yeah.
actually get targeted some point in our life for real because they think that our ideology, the way we think, being a free thinker and question the government and so on and so forth, that they don't want that. They look at it like it's a cancer and they don't want that to spread. They don't want us to wake other people up. So they put this.
But they are creating the cancer. This is
Yeah,
a
they are.
terrorism.
They are. That's what I
This is
like
a
to classify.
terrorism.
Yeah, they are the terrorists controlling the terroristic watch list, putting regular
Yeah.
innocent people on this terrorist list. How is the terrorist controlling the terrorist list? How is that
Yeah.
possible?
You know, and well, and what I've understand in the homework that I've done is they were already watching me two years prior to the voices, to the break-ins. The guy that I was probably seeing at the time was hired to come into my life, you know, and
They do that. They call
so
those they call those honeypots. In
honeypot.
our terminology, they call them honeypots. They definitely do send people your way. They definitely do. Do you know how many people
And so
from my lifetime, from the past life I used to live, has reached out to me who I never heard from in years? I mean years. Who reach out to me now on social media? Like now that I'm going, I learned the program. You wouldn't believe that I was a targeted individual for only 8 months now. I know the exact day I became in the program, the police department that put me, the officer that put me, and everything. And I caught on so quick, like you said, because once I discovered that I was being followed before I really let paranoia kick in, because I used to sell weed in my neighborhood, so I was kind of like a deal. You know, when you're in the
paranoid.
streets, yeah, kind of like that man. So, but you know, when you're in the street, you gotta
It's
watch
all
your
right.
surroundings anyway. So I was already prone to watching my surroundings. So I'm already looking for the people wanting to follow me and rob me and things like that. So I noticed these trucks, two white trucks and a black truck, constantly following me. And no matter where I went, so before I really spoke out on it, I pull out my other phone and I act like I'm on it, but really I'm recording. So I'll let them pull up beside me and I'll switch the phone, or either I'll yawn at a red light with the phone still recording behind me. I'll go from south side of town to the north side of town to the west side of town doing the same thing. I get home and look under the footage and be like, I know I won't crazy. These cars been behind me for over an hour and a half. It's no way we went to the same destination 3 times. Coincidences do not happen like that. It's no such thing as a
No.
coincidence. And for these 3 vehicles to be behind me for over an hour and a half, something's not right. It's 3 vehicles, and
Well,
the characters driving it don't strike me as street guys. They're like one of the guys who was driving the one of the white pickup trucks was a big fat white male with blonde hair and shit like that. So it's really striking me like, man, something's not
like,
right.
come
So as
on
the
now. Yeah.
yeah, so as the days go on,
Because like for me,
go ahead.
I had to retrain my own self because I was watching my surroundings all the time. And then I started to think, am I actually, because okay, today I'm gonna see white trucks everywhere, white trucks everywhere, white trucks everywhere. So
Yes.
then I was like, I had to retrain myself and say, no, those are just fucking bunch of white trucks. So I don't do that anymore. I used to look at every little thing, and now I've trained myself to not do that because I felt like it was getting too much, you know, and
It
because I
do
would
it do
colors,
it do become that
the following.
that's what they do. They do they sensitize us to certain colors. So say for instance, like I'm a target individual, you're a target individual. When we get on the car, get on the road, we're only going to see like they flood us with a certain amount of cars. So we could get on a main road, and next thing you know, the street is only filled with the vast majority of white trucks and white cars. And everywhere you go, you notice white trucks and white cars. It's barely a red car. It's barely a black car. Like, what the fuck is going on? What are the odds of this? And this is
Yeah,
going on every day.
I had to I had to retrain my brain so I don't do that no more. So I don't look at colors no more. I don't allow myself.
I
Don't let
can't help
myself.
but to. They ride up and down my house. Look, once I caught on to the white truck and stuff following me, I started losing them in traffic. So it's like once they caught on to me losing them in traffic, taking this way, driving abruptly because I got a license, so I could be in the middle lane, and when the light turned red, I hit a U-turn, and I risk taking the ticket for that because I know I had a license. So once I started losing them and stuff like that, one day, the next day I go outside, I can tell that it's all perks. Cause all of them parked beside me, behind me. They got masks on every time I'm recording the camera, pointing at them. They looking away, pulling off, and then I just get flooded with one specific color of cars, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, what is the odds of this? It's 16 cars in traffic on the same side of the road I'm in, and all of them white. What are the odds of that? Like every day I go out, this
I
is what
know
I end up
white
to.
is a prominent color.
Yeah.
White is a prominent color, isn't it?
I
Because
got them so
it,
confused right now. They hit me with four colors. So if I record outside, which I got the footage of my house, and I live on a side road, the only colors that ride up and down my block is white, red, black, and gray. I could tell what colors gonna come down the street every day. I probably see one blue car in the blue moon, a green car once in the blue moon, but every car I'm surrounded with is black, white, red,
like,
and gray. They upped it
isn't
on me.
that weird how they do that?
It
Is that like
is.
a, because see, in the beginning, did you believe that there was black magic going on?
Yeah, it is definitely black magic. At the
Did you
beginning,
think
I
that,
didn't correlate the two though. I didn't correlate the two until I figured out what the
yeah,
program was, who was in charge of it, the Freemasons, and I already know who the Freemasons is. I'm fully aware. Actually, I live 10 minutes away from a Freemason lodge. So yeah, it's definitely black magic
yeah,
involved
because
in
I
this.
think that, yes, I think that in the very beginning, I was somehow, they did some kind of black magic on me. And then
Yeah.
they started to try to talk to me through the computer, and I thought I was kind of going crazy, like I was like, yeah. But then I started to see it more and more, and when those trailers were burnt down, they actually had somebody messing with me right after it
Mhm.
happened, like if
Mhm.
it's ha ha funny,
Yep. It's
and
actually it's a
and you
targeted
can't
individual.
prove it.
Yeah, that's right because it's no way, and the local police department has their back, so they're not interested in investigating. If you call them right now and a crime is going on, notice the officers show up on scene. They're not going to pull out their notepad to take notes or anything. They're going to be looking at you the whole time, not taking notes, trying to debunk everything you're saying. That's what they're going to do.
Well, yeah, I had a cop tell me, he goes, "You must have ghosts." I said, "What the fuck's that supposed to mean?"
Motherfucker. You know it ain't ghost, you dirty motherfuckers playing these games with me. And it's so sad though that these are men and women that's put in place and put in charge, and they are given such a power that they sell their country out. You mean to tell me it's an amount of money in the
That's
world
sad.
to get you to turn against your country, your fellow patriots, and everything? Like money means that much to you, really, because that's what it's all
Our
about.
children, imagine our kids.
That's
What,
why.
imagine 10, how many TI victims are going to be in 10 more years?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
They're
my
just,
God. I don't. I hope the program get blown out of the water. There, we having a lot of progress with the Neil Mitzer report from the UN, the repertoire in the UN. We got the ACLU who just spoke out about it with those diplomats over there in the United States diplomats over there across country, across the water, who just got hit with those psychotronic weapons probably like a year or so ago. We got a lot of
we've
things
gotten,
turning in our favor, but it's like how quick are they gonna turn? How quick are they gonna turn?
we've also gotten, yeah, it's not going to be real quick probably, but
Mm-mm.
we have made progress. I've seen with actually catching the people who started it, and a lot of it has to do with drugs. A lot of it has to do with methamphetamine.
Oh,
That's what my understanding is.
It is. It is. A lot of targeted individuals who I have come across with, I'll say out of 100% of the targeted individuals that I met that I know is real, 70% to 80% was methamphetamine users in their past life. So, but that don't give them the right because
Yeah,
this
see,
program.
I wasn't a methamphetamine user.
See, that's why I said 70. I used to take
I
Molly.
wasn't a
I'm not going to
methamphetamine
sit up
user.
here on camera and lie. I was a Molly
Yeah,
ecstasy taking
right.
motherfucker. I was living the life I was living, staying up all night for three nights. I was. So I definitely understand. I fit the bill for this program to a T because not only was that I was very fortunate in the things that I did in the street. So if I committed a crime in the street, I'll go to court and I'll beat it myself with a lawyer. Like with a lawyer who did no work with me writing what I want to ask the prosecutor on paper. And if he didn't want to say it, I'll stand up and say it type like even when I'm not proud of this, I'm not saying this to brag, boast, but with murder, attempted murder, robbery, abduction, for gun charges, because I beat all those in court on my favor though, like me going up with the prosecutor by myself type stuff. I beat them, and I was one of those people who
That could
was.
be. Do you think that's why you could be a targeted individual?
Yeah, that's why I said though I fit the bill for so many ways though because I also used to dig into government conspiracies. Like if you go back and look at my Facebook page, you'll see that I already was talking about the CERN. I was talking about FEMA camps here in the USA. I was talking about government corruption. I was talking about 9/11 being an inside job and so on and so forth. That's why I say I fit the bill on so many reasons why I belong in this program, figuratively speaking, considered looking at it from their point of view. So that's why I said, yeah, it's definitely
Right.
that definitely just the police department.
Definitely.
Yeah, the police department who got me put in this program officially. I just beat them in court 4 years ago on a gun charge, and I'm a felon, and they caught me with the gun, but I beat it because I get in there, learn the law, and I follow like cases similar to mine. And when it came down to the jury to go to deliberate, I knew I was going to get found guilty. But my smoking ace in the hole was I knew that the prosecutor didn't have the ballistic reports on the gun for trial. So if they don't have the ballistic report saying that the gun actually fired, here's a bullet saying that the gun worked and it has a fire pan, I know that I can spin this and make it seem like, well, that's a replica gun. That gun is fake. There's no scientific evidence proven, unless y'all going to shoot it in court, proven that that gun is a real gun. It's a replica. As far as I know, the state says that felons could have BB guns, bow and arrows, and replica guns. Y'all don't know if it's a replica or not, so you can't convict me. And I beat the case 4 years ago, just like that. Prosecutor looked crazy when I poured that out my head too. Jaw dropped. The judge looked at him and said, "Are you serious? You don't have the ballistic report." No, he don't, Your Honor. That was my smoking gun because I knew y'all was gonna convict me while the jury was gonna deliberate. Not me, but that's what it was. I was hurricane, but like I said, we lost her. I'm gonna sit here for a second to see if we're gonna get them back. Nope. So this probably be a part to this interview right here. Tony Davis, newly elected one. Stay tuned. Interviewing all targeted individuals who's willing to participate on this show so we can get our story out. We can wake up the masses. It's our sole duty to do as I'm doing. I support all targeted individuals, and I do understand the life that we live in is very frustrating. It can get the best of us sometimes. I do understand that a lot of targeted individuals is not ready to come forward and speak out against the things that goes on with us because the program is designed to make us feel like that if we speak out or the more we do to resist the program, the torturing increases, which is a lie. I try not to speak about it. I try. I tried to suffer in silence, alone, not telling my loved ones, not telling my family, not telling my friends, and it did not stop any of that. I can assure you, it's not going to stop. So I encourage all targeted individuals worldwide to speak up, speak loud, and speak out against this horrendous act, this uncivil act that we endure every day in our life. We have a future. It's not about us. It's not about us. We're playing our role. This is what the this is the hand we was dealt. This is what the guys had in store for us. If not, we wouldn't end up on this list. We would not end up in this program if this was not the cards or the hand that was dealt to us. So we can't be afraid of dying. We can't. This program is death alone. This program is death alone. If they don't force us to have a heart attack, if they don't force cancer on us, brain tumor, brain aneurysm, any of those things, a mental breakdown, we have to be strong. We have to speak out. We have to be vigilant. We have to be consistent in the matter. That's our sole duty as a targeted individual. And excuse me for saying it with so much passion, but I endure this every day just like you. I get hit with all the military technology, weaponry, and everything just like you. I refuse to die on my knees like a coward. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna pick how I'm gonna die, the way I'm gonna die, the form I'm gonna die. They could kill this vessel, but they cannot kill the spirit. I promise you they can't. Rise up, rise on. Stand up. Let your voices be heard. Document. Talk with sense. Learn. These people have been doing this thing for years. I mean, for years. I'm pretty sure they've been doing it long as any one of us been alive. They have. So don't get scared. Don't let the program get the best of you. Please do not let the program get the best of you. I know it's easier said than done. I know. Trust me. I know. This is our fate, though. This is what the gods had in line for us. We didn't pick this, it picked us. We are chosen. We are many, we are few, and we are everywhere. I love all TIs.